Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America. Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
Yeah, it's UvaldeRadio.net live with the Uvalde Grand Opera House, and that was some Bree Bagwell you heard As Soon As Me. Looking forward to catching up with Bree at the 11th Annual Texas Regional Radio Music Awards. It's going to be Sunday and Monday in Arlington, Texas. Be listening on Sunday and Monday right here at UvaldeRadio.net for all the details as we talk to the biggest stars in Texas country and find out who takes home all that hardware. Hey, I'm looking at an empty chair here. And we're expecting Jeff Jacobs in moments to do a little quick interview, maybe even a performance if he brings his guitar man. I say guitar man because he's got a song called Guitar Man. He is a guitar man, so hopefully he'll bring that in here. Maybe we can get a quick performance if time doesn't run out. So just in case he's running super late, I'm going to go ahead and play some Jeff Jacobs. Oh, there, he's just walked in. So I'm going to play his one of my favorite songs. It's called Guitar Man. Jeff Jacobs and the Jeff Jacobs Band. It's UvaldeRadio.net.
Don't let the door hit your ass. Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
The best new country from the Lone Star State.
All right, it's UvaldeRadio.net. It is Robert Miguel here with you live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. Y'all make some noise. Studio audience of one. Kaylin's here. All right, Kaylin Weisel, our Opera House director and head chick in charge. Can I say that? Head chick in charge. I just said it. So I know it's very PC time these days. Can't throw out the word chick. It is close to Easter, though. Yeah. So we'll say that. You're my peeps.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so head peep in charge. So we are here. We just heard some Jeff Jacobs band, Guitar Man, and man, he's got his guitar. Very cool. Jeff Jacobs here. What's up, brother?
Man, it's been a while, man.
I know, man. It's good to see you. Now, you were here a few months back. You've done a couple of shows at Broadway, HBO now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give me a little mic test because I don't have a monitor to
check. One, two.
Your level looks good to me. Hey, if you're out there and you hear Jeff and you can't hear him because I'm so loud, send me a text like you always do and I'll adjust as needed. So thank you guys for keeping up with that. But yeah, Jeff, you just drove in from San Antonio, right?
Yeah.
So how was the trip? Weather nice?
Yeah, well, not too bad. There were too many cops on the road, and so
There's been a lot of cops lately, hasn't there? Have y'all noticed that? It's like, is that what it is? Spring break? That's what it is. I thought it was mainly the influx of undocumented immigrants.
Yeah.
So between spring break, there's a hooligans of many sorts.
Yeah.
In the streets of Uvalde County, and now we got one more from San Antonio.
Yeah,
Welcome,
there you go.
Yeah.
How's the problems?
So what you been up to, man? Since we talked, I know you've been putting out some new music.
Yeah, a lot of recording. I have a new song that just actually released today from the other project I'm working on. I
saw it online,
Yeah, Plumb Druthers.
You know what? Before we get into that, let's go ahead. For those who are not super familiar with you, we just played some of your, Jeff Jacobs band material. Let's go and give them the 101. Give us your backstory. The quick and, you know what I mean? The hey, this is how I was influenced, and this is how I learned, and here's my records. What you got?
So I started playing music back in when I was like 13 years old. Influences, there's just so many I can't count anymore, but we've talked about it before.
You're like a country Poison, rocker. You got it all, man.
Poison was one of my big influences when I was younger. Then I got into like Pantera, and then I went from Pantera to Garth Brooks. I mean, that's a huge change, but hey, it's what I do. It's what I enjoy doing.
It's very Texas, though. I mean, it totally makes sense. I'm the same way, I mean, I was raised. Poison was my generation. We talked about this on my birthday when we first met. When you became my bestie.
Exactly.
When you like kind of melodic metal or melodic, hair metal like that. And then when that kind of phased out, it was actually very easy to make the transition to country because country was kind of melodious. It wasn't dance. It wasn't rap yet.
Exactly.
but
somehow now.
But I mean, making the transition from like hair bands to artists like Garth and Alan Jackson was really, really easy because the guitar work was really cool and clean and fun and
still good melodies.
We were getting older anyway.
Exactly.
So it was good timing. But I mean, Pantera was like I was listening to Pantera. Just you mentioned that. I was with a buddy, and he was rocking some Pantera in his car, and he's 50 years old like me. And I'm like, dude, aren't you too old for this yet? I mean, I like me some Pantera, but I can't feel it like I used to back in the day. But, man, I used to really relate, man. Like, Vulgar Display of Power. That's how I felt all the time. Cowboys from Hell. And now that angst is long gone.
That's more my workout music now, and I need it. But keep me going.
Obviously, I don't work out, so that's why I don't listen to Pantera. But it still holds a very nostalgic side for me. So you're a rocker. You got some country. So how that all mix into how you play and write?
Well, that's the thing is that I finally figured out after when I actually started doing the Jeff Jacobs band back in 2013. We really started hitting the road back in 2015. But really, at this point of my career, I just kind of just want to record music. And I still want to play the shows, of course, but I've been recording all kinds of stuff. So I revamped my old band, Distorted Reality. And so I just released a song from that. There's just all kinds of stuff going on with me. I just having a whole lot of fun just putting out music and getting good responses,
So is this kind of like you're just becoming like this like studio rat, or is it more about you've just got all these things that you want to say and maybe this is therapeutic or a little bit of both or what?
I think it was or it still is like always been a passion of mine to record and produce because it's just a lot of fun. There's nothing like a live show, of course. You got your fans and your friends and all your people hanging out with you. But at the same time, when you can hear something that you created and like made it real, I mean, and then people are responding to it in a good way, it's just like they both have that energy for me. And so I'm definitely not a studio rap, but at the same time, it's like I plan on recording as much and releasing as much as I want for the next few years.
I mean, I'm no artist, but I can only imagine when I hear like the music that I love, like the music that means, like every now and again, like I'll put on U2's Joshua Tree, which to me was a really impactful record because, I mean, when I heard several of those songs for the first time, I mean, musically and then emotionally, where I was as, I think I was 15, 16 when that came out, it was really impactful music to me. And when I hear it, I tend to think, man, how cool would it be to be the guy that wrote this? And how what a feather in that cap but must that be? To where anytime he listens to that or anytime he's at the freaking mall or hearing elevator music or wherever and he hears With or Without You, hey man, I wrote that. I mean, how cool. I mean, and that goes to stands for just about every amazing, every time I hear George Michael's work, I'm in awe. I'm like, wow, that guy has the most awesome voice and some of the best melodies ever. But yeah, I mean, it must be a real treat for you guys to, come up with something in your brain, out of the ether, and put it either on paper or just on the guitar, into a microphone, into a thing, mix it up, and then boom, you got a product, and then you're hearing that from other people, like, hey man, that really resonates with me, it really touched me.
And I think that's what it is too, because there's just so many songs that I've like written or have written that I've never got to release, and like you said, it's kind of therapeutic in a way because it's all my emotions basically put out in music. So every time, I feel somebody relate to it or I hear somebody, say, hey, man, that song speaks to me. It's a good feeling, and that's why I'm just like, well, why not just put them out there?
Interestingly enough, Jeff's latest single that we're playing is called The Ambush. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
So you got some demons in there, too.
Yeah,
huh?
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, there's this one song that I'm working on. It's called, actually, I don't have a name for it. I've been actually kind of toying with the idea of so basically The Ambush was the first single. The next one is The Guilt, which just came out, and they all got kind of a tagline to them, what the something that catches, but at the same time this is like all these emotions. So it's the ambush, it's like feeling it like just attacked, and the guilt is basically about feeling guilty about where you're heading and you want to kind of switch paths but you don't know how, and keep blaming everybody else but yourself. So, and then there's another song is like, I'm really focused on more of like a depression. It's like, because I actually suffer from depression myself. So, putting that song and finally putting those words and getting that song together, it's like, that one's probably going to be the depression and called These Games, because that's really about, where I wanted to go with that. These are all my, like you said, darker feelings. Really like standing out. Jeff Jacobs Band's always been like a fun time. We have a good time. We have a couple songs that are a little bit more serious, some are a little bit more fun. But I feel like Plumb Druthers is really the emotions, all the emotions.
That was going to be my question, was when you're writing these things, how do you label it? Where do you categorize it? Is this Jeff Jacobs? Is it Plumb Druthers? And you had, what was the other project you were?
Distorted Reality.
Distorted Reality. So it must be interesting to be able to kind of write whatever you want, and then you have all these different umbrellas.
Exactly.
Put it under,
and that's what I'm thinking is to myself. It's just like I'm a musician. Sometimes the songs will sound go this little way, and sometimes the songs go this way. And so it's hard for me just to put them all in one area because they're not, and they're not written the same. So that's exactly what I'm doing, is just like releasing everything.
And as a listener, I appreciate that too, because, like everybody digs like the Beatles' White Album, but, 2 records of a bunch of stuff that sounds nothing alike. Yeah. It really doesn't make for a good listen, for one long listen. Yeah. It really doesn't. So I'm all about, hey, this fits under this. Hey, you know what? Phil Collins does this. Genesis does this. Yeah. And it kind of makes sense or slightly different, but you kind of know what you're getting into,
Exactly.
So that's just my 2 cents. I'm sure there's many people that would love it to be as avant-garde as possible. For some people really love records that have no, I guess,
direction. I guess.
Nothing linear that makes sense. But But anyway, man, so let's go and do some more of your Jeff Jacobs Band stuff. Can't Get Her Out of My Head is the first single that we played from you, but I know you've probably put out a couple before that.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get that one. Give us a backstory on this one and the record that it appears on.
So the album it came out on is Out of the Keg. It was our first single that we released to the on that new album. Backstory of it is pretty much a relationship that kind of never, more of a high school crush type of fling, sort of. Mm-hmm. So it was just one of those things. I was like really attracted to the girl. She was really attracted to me, but it never really quite worked out. Although there was a lot of other stuff that was kind of, we had the attraction, but it wasn't really like we weren't in the same, I guess, clique, so to say, way back when.
Hi for you.
And so it was kind of one of those things, it's just off and on.
It's your Romeo and Juliet, man. Only nobody died.
Yeah, and I never got the girl. So
you never got the girl at all.
But I have my wife, and she's great. So
we talked about that. Your wife must just love hearing the story over.
Oh
and over
yeah. She's like,
you're going to get an elbow when you get home.
Exactly.
Very good. Okay, well check it out. This is Jeff Jacobs' band. It's called "Can't Get Her Out of My Head." It's UvaldeRadio.net, live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House.
It's been 3 weeks since she called me like she done before. Those nights we spent at first were all just physical, but the more intense it got was something I couldn't ignore. And now it's like she put a hole into my head, and I really wish you'd known what I could have said to keep her holding on to something and not fade away. I guess it's wishful thinking that she really would stay. I should have just held my ground, should have not messed around. Now I'm stuck in a rut and I can't get it right in my head. Art of pain, I tried to change, but I was wrong. Now she's got mine, and I'm not fine. She still goes like she put a hole into my head, and I really wish you know what I could have said to keep her holding on to something and not fade away. I guess it's wishful thinking that she really would stay. I should have just held my ground, should have not messed around. Now I'm stuck in a rut and I can't get it out of my It's like she put a hole into my head, and I really wish I'd known what I could have said to keep her holding on to something and not fade away. I guess it's wishful thinking that she really would stay. I should have just held my ground, should have not messed around. Now I'm stuck in a rut and I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it out of my head. I can't get her out of my head. Can't get her out of my head.
Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America. Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel.
All right, UvaldeRadio.net. It is Robert Miguel. We are live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House upstairs in the White Room. What's up? Make some noise! Woo! Caitlin's here. She's awesome. We're going to get Caitlin Weissel, the director of the Uvalde Grand Opera House, on the mic in a moment to give us an update as to what's going on. I know there's a big, huge, hilarious, awesome show tomorrow, 6 p.m. It's the Bonnie and Clyde. What's it called? Bonnie and Clyde, a musical comedy. And there should be still tickets available at UvaldeOperaHouse.org. And it's going to be a socially distanced show, very safe and very entertaining. So she'll give you more details on that as well as other great stuff. But right now, it's all about Jeff Jacobs from the Jeff Jacobs Band and Plumb Druthers. Now, we just played your single, Can't Get Her Out of My Head, and your wife says you really should try, Jeff. You really should try. But you, like you alluded to earlier, you've got kind of different projects that you do, depending on the style or how you're feeling, how you wake up in the morning.
Exactly.
So let's talk about Plumb Druthers. First of all, of course, the obvious question: what the heck does it mean? What's Plumb Druthers? What is it?
So you hear the term like plumb loco.
Okay.
So basically, you're there crazy. So basically, Plumb Druthers means you're there doing what you want. You know, druthers means to take your druthers, to do what you want. So it's basically, I'm right here doing what I want. You know, that's where it came from. It's actually, did a little Google search on Southern words, and those two words actually came up, and I was like, man, these kind of fit together. I can work this.
So what's funny is I Googled it too when I heard the name, and nothing came up of the name itself, like the two words combined. So I was totally thrown for a loop. But it has a very Southern. I was like, oh, Plumb Druthers. Sounds nice. I just kind of wondered what the backstory was there. And that kind of makes sense because it does seem like, I guess, kind of a like a vanity project name too. You know, so say what, doing what I want to do.
Exactly,
that's cool. So
not looking for necessarily the exposure and like huge gain from it. I'm just more doing it because I like what I'm writing, and if other people like it too, then great. If they don't, then it is what it is.
Brilliant for me,
but
anyway.
I'm still, exactly. Yeah. But it's like I have a lot of. When it first got released, we ended up with like literally like in the first month, like 147 followers on Spotify. So
wow,
jumped on really quick. I mean, so and they're still climbing. So it's people are taking a liking to it, which is good. But I wasn't expecting any prize out of it because I'm not doing a whole lot.
And you're not really promoting it real like
no, I'm not.
Like I said, it's more of a just kind of a thing to do, right?
The Jeff Jacobs Band is my established act, and now it's time for me to kind of spread my wings and do a little bit of fun stuff that I want to get into that doesn't necessarily have to do with the Jeff Jacobs Band, and I think it's a good thing for me because every once in a while, the monotony can get kind of crazy, and you're hanging out with the guys all the time and stuff like that. No matter what, it's like every band gets to that point where they're going, it's like, I'm hanging around with you a little too much.
Right.
And you're starting to get on my nerves.
Well, tell me this now. I meant to ask this earlier. I mean, you've got Plumb Druthers, and then you've got Jeff Jacobs Band. I'm sure that the actual full band probably hasn't been gigging that much just in light of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So what's the dynamic there? How do they feel? Be as honest as you would like to be.
Yeah.
How do the guys feel about you dabbling in other stuff? I'm sure you got the one guy that's like, focus on the band, and you probably got the guys that are like doing 4 things on their own anyway, or what's that like, I guess?
Well, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, you
probably all had to kind of fend for yourself to a certain extent anyway,
exactly.
Right?
So, I mean, my whole thing was finding something to do, like you said, during the pandemic, and I really didn't have recording stuff. I bought it all. It's just like I bought some stuff and started messing around, and it started coming together. So, but as far as everybody else, nobody's really taken it too bad. And we've even talked about maybe even putting a couple of Plumb Druthers songs into the mix with the Jeff Jacobs Band. Because there's no official band to that. That's just a project. As far as if ever it came down to it, maybe the guys would want to join in and maybe we'll have us as openers, so to say.
So tell me this: do you share the Plumb Druthers stuff with the band at all, or do they? Or do they have to do their homework to listen to it online like the rest of us, or what would that be like?
Yeah, I kind of like let them. I took the wheels with that. Everything that was recorded on all the music has been me. I've been bass, the drums, everything else. I mean, of course, give them a little, if they're having trouble with it or something like that, then I'll help them out. But as far as that goes, I've been really just creating everything on my own. It's just, because one, bringing in studio musicians and most of my band has not been in the studio, like really in the studio. The first album was recorded by my previous band. And then the new album, I had to use studio musicians because we weren't ready. Right. And I had to get the album going. So, So it's like they haven't had an actual opportunity. But we have talked about going in to our guitarist's brother has a studio, so we might be recording a new song for the Jeff Jacobs band through there and see how it goes. Well,
right on. Let's go ahead and do that, because we're running out of time. We got a little bit of a late start, so let's go and do your Plumb Druthers track. It's called The Ambush, Never Know Your Name, and go ahead and give us a little quick backstory on the inspiration and recording of this one.
So this one was actually inspired by an event I played at. There was a veterans event, and they were telling stories about their stuff when they were deployed, and it's really kind of disturbing at times. But it was a good information to know, because now I understand what they were going through. So in a sense, this kind of was written for them. So.
Very cool. All right. Well, y'all check it out, and you really pay attention to the words. It's a kind of a cool song. Like I said, a little bit on the dark side, but very cool. So again, this is The Ambush. It's Plumb Druthers featuring Jeff Jacobs on UvaldeRadio.net.
Dead with the people all around. So many bodies I could see, but no one makes a sound. We're all just telling stories as we laughed about our past, when a stranger came up from behind to make this day our last. Keep on going, never knowing all the reasons why you laid my friends to rest. Before I had to put a bullet deep inside your chest. Maybe if we got to talk, well, your motives might have changed. And I don't know where you're going, but I know that I will never know your name. All their bodies, and I left you in the dirt. For animals to feast upon, I hope they do their work. And I never found a trace of who you might have been, but to me you are a coward. Hope you're burning for your sin. Keep on going, never know. You laid my friends to rest before I had to put a bullet deep inside your chest. Maybe if we got to talk, well, your motives might have changed. And I don't know where you're going, but I know that I will never know your name.
Texas Country at the Crossroads with Robert Miguel. Live from Uvalde, Texas, the crossroads of Texas and America.
All right, it's UvaldeRadio.net. We are live at the Uvalde Grand Opera House upstairs in the White Room, overlooking beautiful Uvalde downtown plaza. And I'm telling you what, like I said earlier, man, we've been doing these things a little bit during the winter and fall, but nothing compares to doing this thing in the spring, man, when everything is green, despite the freeze a couple of weeks ago, and it's just looking beautiful. And then you can see, the popo after the illegals. Just going down 90. I kid. Hey, Jeff Jacobs was here all the way from San Antonio. He made the drive over here to do our Texas Country at the Crossroads interview series here today is what you're listening to on UvaldeRadio.net. And then, of course, tonight, 7 to 10 p.m., performing live at Broadway 830, 100 East Main Street. Get yourself some delicious pizza and a cold beer and enjoy Jeff Jacobs live on the patio. I think that you were a little bit colder weather last time you were in town, right?
It was a little chilly.
Yeah, a little chilly.
But I hung in there.
So this would be nice, man. It was a great show, right? So we're so thankful and appreciative that you made the trip over here again to see us, and we're going to do a major concert announcement. Major announcement here after Jeff performs the song for us live. So hang out for that, and we'll go ahead and let Jeff do a live number here for us. So tell us what you can do. This is a Plumb Druthers track, right? Brand new?
Yeah, so this one's called...
Like brand spanking new, right?
Yeah, brand spanking new. It just came out today. So already getting some streams on it. And song's called The Guilt. And Blood is on My Hands. And pretty much what it's about is basically blaming everybody else but yourself for what you're doing, and kind of accepting that you screwed up pretty much. So all right, here we go.
I blamed everybody for the shape that I'm in, knowing that it's just a lie. Can't find the demons that committed my sins. My reflection is all I can find. No need for forgiveness, 'cause I realized I need to accept what I cannot deny. The selfish addiction, what I call life. The blood is on my hands tonight. Taking so much, it's starting to show. To question to myself is why. Need to find the answers to fill up these holes that I made between you and I. No need for forgiveness, 'cause I realized need to accept what I cannot deny. A selfish depiction, what I call life. The blood is on my hands tonight. Sooner or later, I know these lies won't go gently into the night. I know there's nothing that I can ask. Seems that my well is run dry. But please leave the light on if you still believe that this man can still make it right. No need for forgiveness, 'cause I realized I need to accept what I cannot deny. A selfish depiction, what I call life. The blood is on my hands tonight. This blood is on my hands tonight. The blood is on my hands tonight.
Yes, UvaldeRadio.net. It is Robert Miguel, and that was Jeff Jacobs from Jeff Jacobs Band, and that feature is from Plumb Druthers, his new thing, his new side project, new vanity project,
piece.
whatever you want to call it. So, again, your wife's going to get mad when you keep talking this way.
I was like,
sorry, Mrs. Jacobs. Every time you go to Uvalde, you get in trouble. You act like a slut.
I'm going. Going to hell in a handcart.
That's what happens when we give Jeff some beer.
Exactly.
So thanks again to Caitlin for being a great host here at the Uvalde Great Opera House. Again, and that song was called, once again,
The Guilt.
The Guilt, and you just put that on social media, and
you can find it on Spotify, Apple Music. Just got released today.
Literally today. Yep. So I saw the post and I was like, I've been so busy, I didn't have a chance, but it was kind of cool. I got to hear the live version first.
Exactly.
So downloadable and purchasable and all that stuff. Today.
Yeah.
So,
everybody can get it right.
Exciting stuff, man. So tonight the show is at Broadway 830, right down the street here from the Opera House. 100 East Main Street. Jeff goes on at 7 o'clock. For those listening that want to get out there, tell us a little bit about what you got in store for us tonight.
Oh, man. You'll hear everything. So you're not just going to hear some country. You'll hear a little bit of 80s and just about everything I could think of.
There was a couple of cool 90s songs you did. I forget what they were off the hand right now, but you were like, I was sitting there.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah, I was like, this is my bestie. It's my bro. What we're doing, he's doing all the songs. It's good
I did
stuff.
Every Rose Has a Thorn. I know we did that. Yeah, we had to do that one. Yeah,
yeah, and I think he did some Cash too.
Oh yeah.
So it was
Cash. It's going to be everything.
So if you enjoy good music and you enjoy it done very well, you guys got to come out and enjoy Jeff Jacobs from the Jeff Jacobs Band and Plumb Druthers tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. at Broadway 830. They got some great food. It's going to be beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nice. And also, should we make the big major announcement? How about Caitlin does the honors? Major concert announcement. Okay, so Caitlin, you go ahead and do it here, okay? No, you do it. I'm the guest in your home. You can go ahead.
Okay, major concert announcement. For the Honey Festival, June 11th and 12th this summer. On June 12th, Jeff Jacobs is going to be our headlining act.
And not just Jeff Jacobs and the Jeff Jacobs Band, right?
Yes, the full band.
So tell us what Uvalde has in store when they see the full band, because a few of us have already seen you do your thing, and how is that going to size up versus what we get to see you with just you and your guitar?
Yeah, it's same kind of feeling, just a lot more power.
All right.
So it's just it's going to be a good time. We have plenty of good songs and plenty of dancing, so this dance is going to go on, I'm sure. But yeah, it's we played in Fort Worth the other night, and I didn't see one person sitting down the whole night. Everybody was screaming and hollering. So get prepared, Uvalde.
I'm excited. It's going to be great to see you doing the full band, electric. Going to be a little rock and roll, a little bit of country. Like I said, a lot of dancing, a lot of head bobbing. If you're going to do some rocking, so even if you're too cool to be dancing in the middle, you're going to be at the side, bobbing your head. Approval. Yeah. So, and then we're going to have some cold beverages out there on the streets of Uvalde. So it's going to be a full-on festival. Again, details for Uvalde Honey Festival are kind of creeping their way out. But since we had Jeff here in person, we wanted to go ahead and make that official announcement here on UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, Caitlin, for doing that so well. She my new hype man. I love it. So tell me, you mentioned you did a show in Dallas. How are things ramping up for the band now that the state's open? Well,
yeah, it's like that. Like I was saying, is we did not expect a huge turnout because people are still a little bit frightened in pandemic and everything. But no, I was definitely wrong. Yeah, it's all our fans were out there. It was a really good time. I'm starting to see, attendance picking up. Things are getting better. People are getting their vaccinations. I mean, they're getting a little less scared, which is a great thing. I mean, definitely these last couple of years has just been insane. So I'm definitely glad to see that things are getting better little by little. So,
well, very good, man. And by the time June comes around, again, Saturday, June 12th, Jeff Jacobs Band headlining the Uvalde Honey Festival right here in front of the Uvalde Grand Opera House in the plaza on the northwestish side. And we're going to have a little stage out there. So y'all make plans, write that on your calendar now. And again, if you've seen Jeff, he's awesome. But we are really looking forward to seeing the full band experience. So, Jeff, for those listening, tell us where to find your music and how to hook up with you and all that good stuff.
Right. Of course, here, Uvalde Radio.
Come see him live tonight, 7 to 10, Broadway 830.
Definitely request us. JeffJacobsBand.com is where you can find everything you need to know about us. You can find out where to go to Facebook, where to go to Twitter. I always say that's the easiest way, JeffJacobsBand.com, because you can pick your
links to everything else,
Yeah, pick your media. It's all on the front page. Makes it really simple. If you listen to Apple Music, well, you go there. You listen to Spotify. You prefer a radio station, you'll find it all there. So
right on. Again, JeffJacobsBand.com.
Yep.
And come see him tonight at Broadway, June 12th here at Uvalde Honey Festival. And that's kind of going to wrap it up. I'm going to let Kate and Caitlin get on and then give us some plugs about what's happening at the Uvalde Grand Opera House. Caitlin, take it away.
Okay, so this Saturday, March 20th at 6 p.m., we have Bonnie and Clyde, a musical comedy. It's a group called the Texas Comedies. They write their own musicals. They come and they do these shows, so we're excited to have them. Box office will be open at 4. Doors will open at 5. Bar will open at 5. The show starts at 6. So plenty of tickets on uvaldeoperahouse.org. Get your tickets now so that we know you're coming. Then in April, we've got comedian William Lee Martin coming on April the 11th. Those tickets are on sale now.
The dude's hilarious.
He's hilarious. He's also adult humor without the adult language, so you can bring your kiddos and they're not going to hear any bad words or anything like that. So we're really excited to have him back here. All of our shows right now are socially distanced, so we're selling stuff in pairs of seats. So if you have a big group, we can try to make it work, but usually just buy the pairs that you need. Also in April, our first community theater production post-COVID, Father of the Bride, directed by the lovely Karen Miller Barnes. The cast has already been rehearsing. We're doing a lot for this show. It's going to be really, really funny, and we hope y'all can come out because it's going to be awesome. Then in May, we still cannot reveal the musicians, but we have Texas Country at the Crossroads on May 22nd. The concert. So we'll have our second installment of the concert May 22nd this year, and the headliners and all of that will be announced soon, but not yet. And then also we're having U-Pop this summer. The month of July, we're doing our summer youth program. So we need auditions. We have auditions April 16th and 17th. We've got Once Upon a Time, The Adventures of Pinocchio for our U-Pop production. So we're really excited to do that. And then, like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find out more.
Right on. All right. So, y'all audition for U-Pop, all y'all kids out there. It's going to be a blast. No lying. So thanks to Caitlin Weissel here, director of the Uvalde Grand Opera House, uvaldeoperahouse.org for details. And, of course, the big show is tomorrow night, Bonnie and Clyde, a musical comedy. Remember, if you missed our interview with John Cecil from Texas Comedies, you can stream that right now at uvalderadio.net. And getting ready to wrap it up here with Jeff Jacobs. Before we go, Jeff, I want to put you, we were talking about this behind the scenes about your illustrious radio voice. Yeah. So why don't you give us a, we're going to play some Aaron Watson. So why don't you give me like hey, this is Jeff Jacobs, and you're listening to Aaron Watson on uvalderadio.net or something like that. we'll let you take us out.
Hey, this is Jeff Jacobs of the Jeff Jacobs Band. You're listening to Aaron Watson right here on uvalderadio.net.
Need to run like wheels need a roll. Where that rubber meets a red dirt road. I need your kiss like a cooler needs cans. Like your body needs my two hands. So baby, climb on up and slide on in. High as a kite, feeling free as the wind. Find that buckle next to me in the middle. You can grind my gears, but don't you play me like a fiddle. We can tie one on and come unwound. Turn up the heat when the sun goes down. No, they don't call it a truck bed for nothing. Yeah, you know that's right. Nothing's better than a Silverado Saturday night. Got money to burn like gas in the tank. Got the perfect spot there down by the bank. Got my old Zepco with a 10-pound line. So kick off your boots, now it's time to shine. So baby, come on up and slide on in. High as a kite, feeling free as the wind. Find that buckle next to me in the middle. You can grab my gears, but don't you play me like a fiddle. We can tie one on and come unwound. Turn up the heat when the sun goes down. They don't call it a truck bed for nothing. Yeah, you know that's right. Nothing's better than a Silverado Saturday night. Oh, there's nothing better than a Silverado Saturday night. It's just you and me underneath the moon. We'll be dancing with the stars. I'll show you what they mean when they sing about fishing in the dark. So baby, climb on up, slide on in, high as a kite, feeling free as the wind. On that buckle next to me in the middle, you can grind my gears, but don't you play me like a fiddle. We can tie on and come unwound. Turn up the heat when the sun goes down. They don't call it a truck bed for nothing, yeah, you know that's right. Nothing's better than a Silverado. They don't call it a truck bed for nothing, yeah, you know that's right. Nothing's better than a Silverado. They don't call it a truck bed for nothing, yeah, you know that's right. Nothing's better than a Silverado Saturday night. Silverado Saturday night.